All right, everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain the automated system that I built for meeting women using software, AI, and other people's time rather than your own. So pretty sweet. So it consists of a software to find girls on Instagram. Why? Why in the world would you want to meet and date women from Instagram over a dating app? Well, the results are a lot better than from dating apps. In short, the girls are hotter, they have better personalities, and they're less flaky. Whereas girls on dating apps tend to be kind of more just using you for dopamine, and they don't really want to meet a guy, especially in certain markets like the US. So I call this Demo City. I'm not going to say the name of the real city. Let's just say it's Lisbon, Portugal. It is not Portugal, though. So we downloaded a list of all these beautiful girls that live there. How do we find them? These are girls that maybe follow a top restaurant or trendy rooftop lounge in the city, and then we use AI to detect the faces and remove all the men. Now, maybe you don't think all of the girls are beautiful. Perhaps you don't think this girl's beautiful, but you probably, unless you're a homosexual man, have found many girls that you would share your bed with. And normally there would be a clickable link to their Instagram. So to save you the time and hassle of like looking for all these beautiful girls on Instagram, that are not getting blown up on dating apps by a million guys that have a private profile. See where it says like is private here? If it says false, it means that their profile is public, but most of them say true, 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 true. Like most of these girls have private profiles, and you could even filter this list to only go after the girls that have private profiles, because those are the ones that you want, right? The vast majority have private profiles. And like I said, there would be normally an actual clickable link to their profile, but that's just a demo city, okay? And you can bet that if girls are following a nail salon, hair salon, beauty salon, rooftop lounge, trendy restaurant in Lisbon, Portugal, they probably live in Lisbon, Portugal. At least probably 80 to 90% of them do. Okay. But again, the city was not Portugal. Okay. I just don't want to reveal what it is. The next one, and this is, I think, the most cool part, is a step-by-step copy and paste system for exactly what to say to them in any situation. So the primary thing we're going to do here is screen out the time wasters as quickly as possible. We want to make it so we never have to think of what to say next. We can fire off copy and paste messages, and I give breakdowns and examples of conversations I took from, cold DM on Instagram, or even sometimes maybe, a match on a dating app, whatever it is, and how I turned it into a date. So you get this database. There's a lot in here. Let me try to zoom this in here. Some of you guys are watching on mobile, and I want to be cognizant of that and make it as big as possible. So if you can see here, there's openers for Instagram, openers for dating apps. We go by, different categories here. Questions you can ask them in the early stages, questions you can ask them for the later stages. Go-to conversation helpers. Look, I'm not going to break down this whole thing, but this one right here, ask me a question that I'm on right now. Oh, I have it in English, Spanish, and Portuguese for you passport bros out there. All of these copy and paste messages are already, auto translated for you. And I've had girls where they're giving me a little bit cold one-word answers, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut this girl off. This girl's low interest. She's, a time waster. I was about to screen her out, and I'm just like, fuck, I feel like I'm interviewing this chick. And I'm like, all right, well, so do you have any questions for me, by the way? Kind of feel like I'm doing an interview here, haha. And she's like, yes, I do have a lot of questions. Why are you here? And how did you learn Portuguese? And what made you choose this city of all places? And how long are you here for? And what are you looking for in a woman? I'm like, oh, shit. And then she opened up and actually ended up, meeting and dating these girls, right? So everything you could think of is in here. The format of it in a nutshell is we like to ask a lot of fluffy, light, easy questions in the early stages that are just kind of like routine questions, but with a little bit of spice. So if we ask her job, we can say, so what it is, do you study? Do you have a job? I mean, what do you do? What do you do all day, besides break hearts? You know what I mean? So we're asking her job in a slightly more flirtatious and charismatic way than just like, what's your job? We're like, oh, what do you do all day? Do you have a job? Do you study, or just, break hearts all day, right? Keep it flirty. And then there's just, the typical getting to know you questions. Well, some of them are not the typical getting to know you questions. They're more interesting, but they're light and fluffy. So you don't have to think a lot. And then a way we screen out the time wasters to kind of like, give away the juice or whatever, is we ask them more thought-provoking questions. Like if you ask a girl like, hey, what's your love language? It's like, hey, there's these 5 love languages. I was reading about this, words of affirmation, active service, receiving gifts, quality time, physical touch. What would you say is your love language, right? And she's like, I don't know, LOL. Time waster, you cut her off. But if she gives I've had girls like give me shit, I wish I had the screenshot up right now, but like just like paragraphs. Like, well, I would say I'm like, they broke it down like by a percentage, like a pie chart. They like, okay, acts of service, 25% receiving gifts, 10% quality time, like 35%. It's like, holy shit, like ding, 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 winner, winner, chicken dinner. We got a live one. We got a girl that's actually interested, right? There's, how to reinitiate conversations after a break, reinitiate conversations when she left you unread, responses to common questions. She can ask you screening questions if you want to find a girl that's, um, like DTF. You can send her like BDSM. There's like a right way to do this. If you know how to cook, you can screen for DTF girls by inviting them straight over to cook for them. It can even be something, super simple. But yeah, like all types of screening. Like there's everything in here, right? Like from open to the light early stages to the more, middle stages, it's all there. There's full conversation breakdowns. And then there's like a full on template. I'm not going to get into this, but like, basically, you have to start with an opener, right? Um, if it's Instagram, if it's a dating app, we have openers for all situations. Then making the light fluffy conversation. If it's a dating app, you go about it a different way than if it's Instagram, yada yada. Like there's quite a bit of stuff in here, and then there's some stuff in here, and there's some stuff in here, like how you I like to get girls on a video call. I like to get them to agree to do a video call with me first and actually do the video call before the date. So many reasons. You can screen out if they're catfish, like maybe they gained a lot of weight recently. Screen out for like combative masculine personalities and stuff like that, and just know you're not going to waste your time. And then also, if you have a good video call with a girl, then there's like 80% chance she's not going to 90% chance you're not going to get flaked, right? It's very, very, so you can count that like, your Saturday night plans are not going to fall through if you had a good video call with her initially. How to get them on and how to prepare. What do you say? What questions should you have lined up? Yeah, there's like a right way and wrong way to do a video call, right? And then after that, there's coaching, right? So first of all, how you can get a VA to handle all this for you. So you can have a VA, train them on what type you like, and they can go through and just like follow a certain number of girls every day based on your type, based on what it is that you like, what you train them you like, and then how to kind of go through this. This is pretty cool right here, but the better part is when I actually break down conversations, and your VA can watch breakdown after breakdown, conversation after conversation after conversation after conversation, until they can get to a point where they can literally do some of this for you. It's very hard for a VA to pretend to be you past like an initial, day of conversation. It'll depend on the dating market. You're depend on a lot of things, but there's a lot of ways. They can even have voice notes recorded that you send, so you can say certain things via voice note. The VA can like play them from their speakers on their laptop, like, and then like into the phone. So like, I've thought of everything here. So that's the automated system, right? The full copy and paste system of exactly what to say. There is coaching aspect to it on how to get a VA to do it for you, or just further help from me on anything you need. And then also the software comes included, so you can stop using dating apps, or you can use dating apps as a supplement. But I just guarantee you're just gonna get way better results from Instagram when you guys start using this. And then another thing I didn't really talk about much here. Look, if you need the good profile, I can build that for you too. That's like the main thing we do. This stuff won't work really well if your photos aren't pretty good. If you don't have like a pretty good profile with good photos, so you kind of got to start there first. And then the main question is cost. If you want to know more about this and have me, build this for you and train you how to use it, and get a virtual assistant for you, give you access to the software, all this stuff, there will maybe either be a link on this page if you're watching this like embedded in some type of website, or if this video is just on YouTube, then there will be a link in the description of the video for how you can get more information, sign up for, and stuff like that. But I'll just say this is not a program for brokies. If you're thinking like, oh, he's going to do this for 200, 300, $400. No, you're sadly mistaken. This is not, a program for the brokies. This is for guys who are doing pretty well financially. This is the best, most efficient system ever built. The software is not cheap. It's a hassle. Instagram bans, IP address bans, etc. We have to constantly buy new Instagram accounts to get the data. Like all this stuff is like, very labor intensive. And we're not giving it away for brokies at a cheap price, because it's a premium product. It's the best thing that's ever been developed out there, the most efficient thing. There's nothing like it. If you think it's too expensive, you're welcome to go to my competitor and have them build out a completely copy and paste automated system for you, along with a software that finds girls on Instagram. You're very welcome to go to one of the numerous competitors of mine that they don't exist. Actually, there are no competitors. You either get this from me or you don't get it at all. And that's it. Again, find the link on this page for more information or the description of this video if you're just watching on YouTube. And that's all. Cheers.